What's up everybody? So today's video is going to be the review of the new exhaust that I did on the Nismo 370Z. Now first up, I want to take a look at the stock muffler. So Nissan actually sources the Nismo muffler to HKS. You can see the little logo down there. So it is kind of cool that this does come with technically an aftermarket exhaust system. And we'll just take a quick look at what the new one looks like. Basically this is a muffler delete, the AAM Resonated Short Tails, so we got a little resonator in there. And then coming out to the 5-inch tips, looking just like stock. So we'll hop in the car, we'll talk about how the new system compares to stock and how the new system compares to the non-resonated short tails. So to start off, as always, we will do a cold start. So now inside the car, we'll go ahead and talk about my overall opinion of this setup on the car. Yes or no, do I love it? Yes, I love the sound of it. It's really, really beefy. It sounds awesome the way it is. Even on some of the downshifts, there's some pops to it. It just has a very beefy tone to it. So to compare it, wow, so it sounds awesome. So to compare this one to stock, it is a huge improvement. The stock exhaust is pretty quiet for being the Nismo car. They did a pretty good job at least making this a true dual exhaust system from the factory, giving it an H pipe rather than the Y pipe that you find on the standard Z. So at least for efficiency wise, it is a good system. Just the stock Nismo muffler is kind of a disappointment just because it's really, really quiet. You would think the Nismo at least would have a lot more grunt to it than the standard Z, but it really is just a little bit more beefy than the standard Z. It's nothing dramatically different. And this car also has an electronic system in it where it actually amplifies the stock engine noise and plays it through the speakers to give you more of the illusion of you're driving something that sounds really, really good. And I will admit, in the stock car, the stock setup, it actually does sound really good when you're driving from the inside. But when you're on the outside of the car, you know, hearing it rev or hearing it drive by, it's nothing impressive. It's really just a normal car. So the new system is awesome. It sounds so beefy. It just eliminates the muffler, tones it up quite a lot, being a muffler delete. The resonators do a really good job toning down the drone and any rasp that there would be. So right now I'm going about 48 miles an hour up a hill, giving it some gas. There is drone right now. I'm hearing the drone. You can probably hear it too. But it's nothing annoying or crazy loud. It's not that deep bass that gets in your head and just makes you want to blow your ears out or anything like that. So it's not a bad drone, and it's only at that slower speed in 6th gear. Going to 5th gear, absolutely no drone whatsoever. Doing the rev matching downshifts is pretty awesome with the system. It actually does pop quite a bit. I don't know if you can hear that or not with the microphone. And then under acceleration, it's so aggressive. So it definitely has a really good tone to it, super beefy compared to the stock form, and under full acceleration, it's just, the whole power band is just really, really crisp sounding. So to compare these now to the non-resonated short tails, and if you missed any of the videos, they're in the description below. I have this stock car compared to the new system, and then this setup compared to my Red Z with the non-resonated short tails. One thing to know though, between the two cars, they have different gear ratios for the final drive. So with my Red Z going about 45 to 50 miles an hour, the RPM was at 1800 RPM, while this car is closer to 2000. So my only issue with the non-resonated short tails, being non-resonated, it just had too much drone for me. Going 45 to 50 miles an hour in 6th gear, the drone with the windows up was just really, really annoying. It was a lot of bass inside your head. When you crack the windows a little bit, it went away to a normal level. Sound-wise, they sound pretty much the same. It's a little bit hard to actually compare them apples to apples just because this car, again, has an H pipe while my other one had the Y pipe. So the tones are different, and if you watch the video, this one does seem to actually have a better sound in my opinion. I just think it's a crisper sound with this setup. It's just really, really smooth sounding. Everything is just beefy, and I think that deep bass is gone with this one, and you get more of the tone of the engine. And these cars are kind of known to have that really, really good sound. Whenever I hear an Infiniti pass me, I know exactly that it's an Infiniti because their exhaust systems sound really good. So only downsides of this system, the fitment is all right. There's a little bit more work I need to do to it. I noticed the driver's side hanging down a little bit more than the passenger side. I think I can just bend the bracket up a little bit and make it work. So fitment is pretty good. I'd give it maybe an 80%. It's not quite perfect, but I've seen a lot of other expensive exhausts that are even more expensive than this that have horrible fitment. So fitment's not bad, but you can probably modify it. I think I'll get there eventually and mess with it to make it a lot better. So the only other downside with the exhaust, and it's not the exhaust's fault, but it's the car's fault, the trunk now rattles just a little bit. And I noticed if you take the trunk and actually push it down, it'll move. And that movement is what you're hearing now as a rattle. So with the louder exhaust system, obviously there's more vibrations, more sounds back there, and it just makes that latch just rattle a little bit. In my Red Z with the standard short tails, it did it a lot more. It was like the whole 4,000 RPM band, while this one just does it a hint around the 4,000 mark. But I think with that issue, all I really have to do is just stiffen the little helper springs back there to put more resistance on the actual trunk, and that'll also fix the trunk issue that I'm having. So that'll be another video fixing all that, but that's, again, not the exhaust fault. It's just something with the cars that when you do a loud exhaust, that's kind of what happens. And as far as daily driving goes, I really have no issues with it just being overbearingly loud, because I'm not someone who wants the loudest car out there. It's just kind of annoying, in my opinion, to have something crazy loud that's annoying. This one, it's easy to drive normally. You can just enjoy the car without being crazy loud. So my overall opinion of the Resonated Short Tails for a 370Z, you're probably going to have a little bit different sound if you have a standard Z, but I think if you want your car to be as loud as you can go without having any of the annoying downsides of drone or rasp, then I think this is probably the system that you're going to want to go with. And then if you do want your car with a good sound, much better than the stock one, AAM does have a muffler that you can buy. It's basically just their normal axleback muffler system, so it'll be a lot quieter than the Resonated Short Tails, but it'll definitely be a lot louder than the stock one. So then, like I said, if you want just the perfect tone, a lot of loudness, a lot of good sound, just a very beefy car, but you don't want any of the drone, go with this one. You will probably be very happy. And of course, it's time for another acceleration. You just can't get enough of it, and the downshifts. Oh, I heard another pop in that. It's really fun to do. Well, everybody, I think that sums up the review of the Resonated Short Tails for the Nismo. I'm happy with it. I like it a lot. Just a little adjustments I can do to make the fitment perfect, but other than that, it sounds exactly like I was hoping for. I was a little skeptical going again with another muffler delete system, but all the reviews I read and all the forums, it said that the Resonated Short Tails would just tone down that drone just enough to make them bearable to where you don't have that annoying drone that just annoys you. And right now, again, we have the drone because I'm going uphill. Not crazy. Putting the windows down, it just softens that bass and you don't hear it at all. And with the windows down, because we haven't actually talked about that yet, it's an even more crisp sound. The windows down just make it to where you can really, really hear the exhaust system. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video going over what I think of this exhaust. I like it, and I think you will too. So huge thumbs up once again to AAM Competition. Definitely check them out for your next performance part for your 370Z or your Infiniti G car or your GTR. They have some awesome parts. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next video.